What's up and welcome back to another video, guys. Today I'm going to be answering some of your questions. As always, if you have any questions that you'd like me to answer in the next installment of this series, leave them down below in the comment section of this video and I'll try my best to get to them in the next episode. But without further ado, let's get right on into this video. Our first question for today comes from Alistair, and they asked, do I think that we will get Commandos ever? And I think it's honestly only a matter of time before we get Commandos, especially because they've been pretty prevalent in recent Star Wars media and some of the shows, like the Bad Batch and some others as well, and especially if they're going to be revisiting the Clone Wars at some point soon for some sets on some of the anniversaries. I think that we definitely will be seeing them soon. It's something that fans have been asking for so long. If you go back on YouTube, like 10-15 years, you'll see tutorials of people like sanding the fin off of their Phase 1 clone troopers to make a commando. And here I have a custom one. I have no clue where it's from, but it is a pretty nice one. And I feel like this is pretty similar to what we would see from Lego. It's a fairly basic design, but that's kind of all you need. I feel like the backpack would be the hardest part for Lego to do, but Lego probably wouldn't go too crazy on the backpacks. They just make one generic one that goes throughout all of them. But I would love to see Commandos out of Lego. Now, do I think that's going to happen? I don't know if this is like just me being hopeful, but I feel like we definitely will be seeing them in the future. It really just is the question of when Lego gets around to making them, which could be as long as like 5 years from now, maybe even longer, but it could also be as soon as next year. I really don't know, but I do have hope that we will be seeing these guys pretty soon. Rob Smith asked, do I think that we'll be seeing any original trilogy playsets in the near future? And I think yes, we will be seeing them. It is only a matter of time. I think the reason that we haven't really been seeing many right now is, first off, it's been the anniversary of the prequels on 2 of the prequel movies back to back. So that's what Lego's been focusing on, as well as some of the newer media and other stuff like that that has been coming out. But I think once that kind of passes over, and especially with some of the anniversaries for some of those original trilogy movies coming up, we'll be seeing a lot more sets coming in there, especially in the playset category. I'm trying to think, the most recent original trilogy playset that we got, I think was Yavin 4, but correct me if I'm wrong, which was a pretty good one, but I am excited to see what we get in the future. One that I have wanted from Lego for a while has been a new version of the Playscale Cloud City. I think that would be a lot of fun, and I have no doubt it would sell, but I do think it's only a matter of time before we get some more original trilogy sets. Admiral Ularian asked, Attack of the Clones 25th Anniversary Gunship 2027, and I do agree that definitely is a large enough gap for Lego to release it with the Coruscant Guard gunship that's on shelves right now, which will probably be retiring at the end of this year, if not the next, but it will be retired by then. And what better time to get a new gunship than the 25th anniversary of Attack of the Clones? I 100% agree with you, and I really hope that this happens. We've gotten some very good Attack of the Clones based gunships in the past, so I think Lego could definitely knock this one out of the park, albeit it will definitely be downsized from the previous ones. But I really do just want to see a like normal kind of plain gunship, because you can't really army build a Coruscant Guard gunship. I think it is a pretty cool color scheme, don't get me wrong, but I would just prefer to have that base gunship. So I'm really hoping that this is something that Lego does, and I do think that this will happen. I feel like it'd be kind of stupid if Lego doesn't go for this. I feel like it's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, there's a chance that they don't do it, but I feel like there's more of a chance that they do end up making that gunship in 2027. Street Mall asked, do I think that we could get a Dexs Diners set? And I'm not really sure, to be honest. I don't think that it's something like incredibly like prevalent to Star Wars in Episode 2. However, I do think it's definitely a possibility. A lot of fans have been wanting this, including me. I don't know if Lego would actually go with doing a set for it. However, I do think there's a possibility of it being a promo. I feel like for the May 4th promo in 2027 for the anniversary of Attack of the Clones, that would be a pretty good promo in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but I do think that it would be a cool one to get. And I just don't know if that's something that Lego would use a set slot on for that year, especially if it is going to come out during the anniversary. But I do really want Lego to make this. I think it would be sick, and it would be the perfect opportunity to get some really cool minifigures as well, with Dexs, maybe an updated version of Zam Wessel. But I would love to see this. It's one that I've wanted to see for a while. There's a lot of cool mocks out there, and I want to do a mock of it of my own at some point in the future, but you know, it's not really something I can do without a Dexs minifigure. Bible asks, do I think that we will get more sets with clone grunts? And I think that we definitely will at some point in the future. They're already made. Lego has them on the production line, so they can just like, you know, pick them up and throw them in a set. Now, I don't know if it's necessarily something they're going to do, but I feel like it's something that they very easily can do. Luckily, they are pretty easily accessible right now, especially with that battle pack, but I do think that we will be seeing them again in the future. Hornet Plays asks, will we ever get a full-scale Tri-Droid? And I don't think that that's something that Lego would do, just given how massive those are. I was thinking back, it was Coconut Bricks who did the big Megiddo mock, and he did a custom one over there, and it was massive. For Lego to make that a set, I don't know if it's something that they would do. It would have to be a very big Technic build, and I just don't know if something like that would sell. I would definitely buy it. I think it would be sick, but I think for the whole wider audience of Lego Star Wars fans, probably not something that they would buy, but I think it is pretty cool, and I am very happy that we do get these smaller ones, but they're very, very small, very out of scale, and the mini ones, I guess there are mini ones in Star Wars as well, but the large ones are the very cool ones, especially from that Clone Wars movie with the scene with Anakin and Ventress fighting on top of it. Just very cool. I just don't think that it's something that Lego would realistically make. Go ask, what do I think of Lego making a droid landing craft? And this is one that I've wanted for a while. I think that the droid landing craft is just a super cool ship. Ever since it came up in the Clone Wars all the way back, well, I think it was like the first arc of the Clone Wars with Yoda. I just thought it was such a cool ship, and I think it's one that Lego could do. Obviously not in scale, but I think a playset version would be very cool, where you have all of the droids on the inside as well. I just think it would be a super cool set. Now, it is kind of niche, especially for the Clone Wars, so I don't know if it's something that Lego would actually go out of their way to make, but I would definitely be for it. I would love to see it, but I think that there's definitely some other droid sets that they would do before doing a droid landing craft. Arberg asks, what can you do to get more popular in the Lego YouTube category? And that's still something I'm trying to figure out for myself, but I've had to give some advice based off of my experiences so far. I would say the best thing to do is just to keep posting and stay at it and keep working on improving your videos, but also try some different things, try out some new things and see what works for you and your audience. And you kind of just have to keep at it, and eventually you'll keep growing. Even if it is at a very slow rate, you will keep growing. Joshua says that they should make a playset of the Kashyyyk tree where Order 66 happened, with Gree, some Kashyyyk clones, and Yoda, and some new Wookiees. And I 100% agree. I think this would be a very, very good set, and I have no doubt that it would sell very well. And I'm kind of surprised that it's not one that Lego has done before. It seems like they love to make Kashyyyk sets just based on all of the ones we've already gotten. And I feel like this is just such an iconic scene, especially with like those tree spires and all of the buildings there. I'm surprised that we haven't gotten one. Yes, it would be kind of challenging to structurally support, but I think Lego could definitely figure it out. Unfortunately, I do think this would be like a great diorama, but you know, dioramas on their way out for Lego. We're not getting any in 2025. Not to say that we can't get some in the future, but it's not looking likely, unfortunately. But I do think this would be a great set, and I'm really hoping that Lego makes something like this in the future. Actioner asks, what do I think about the new information regarding the MTT coming out in the summer? And I think if this information is true, it's shaping up to be a pretty good set and maybe one of the best sets of this summer. Now, that new information is that it will be $150, releasing on August 1st of 2025, and it's going to have Aayla Secura, Commander Bly, and 10 battle droids, so 12 minifigs total in a $150 set. I know the droids are kind of tentative on whether you count them as a minifigure or not, but overall, I think that's looking pretty good. We still don't have the piece count, but I think it should be fairly well sized, and I'm very excited to see this one. Aayla Secura, a very good minifigure in my opinion, and I'm excited to get a new version, especially because the two older versions are getting kind of expensive, given that it's been so long since we've gotten them, and finally getting a Commander Bly in Phase 2, I'm assuming, just given, you know, the other context clues around that, and also because that 327th battle pack that we're going to be getting is also going to be in Phase 2, so I'm assuming that they would make them, you know, both Phase 2, but I'm very excited to see. Bly has been one that I've wanted for a while, and I think Lego can do a very, very good job on him, so I'm very excited to see this one. Guy who lives on YouTube asks, why don't I think that we get many sets from games? And I think that there's definitely a few reasons for this. I think one of, and maybe the biggest one, I'm not really sure, is licensing. I know that like Disney and Lego have their agreements and all of that with Lucasfilm and all of the stuff kind of going on behind the scenes, that they kind of control what sets are made. And I think that they're not really trying to push these sets for the games. Another one is that some of the games are, you know, more mature, you know, the Jedi Fallen Order and stuff like that. That's stuff that Lego has said that they weren't going to make sets because it doesn't really fit their motive and other stuff like that, just because it's a more mature game. And that definitely does make sense with some of the other games and other stuff like that. But I don't know, I think the biggest thing is that there's just not so much of an audience for the games compared to the movies and the shows, where Lego's just going to make more money. Now, I have no doubt that some of the sets based on shows or based on games would sell very well, especially some of the more older games and other stuff like that. I know that they have done it in the past as well with the Rogue Shadow and some of the Old Republic sets, which unfortunately I don't think sold very well at the time, but are definitely ones that are beloved by fans right now. Definitely some of my favorite sets, but I am actually working on a video that kind of goes along with this. I'll give you a little sneak peek where I'm going to be making different mocks based on the video games, some of my favorite video games. So I think that's coming out tomorrow or the day after, which will be a very good video. So make sure you check that one out. But I do think that we'll be seeing more sets based on games in the future. We did just get that Cal Kestis minifigure though, and the anniversary minifigs from last year. So unfortunately, I do think that that kind of means that we're never really going to be getting any Jedi Fallen Order sets. But I do think if more games come out in the future, it is possible that we see some sets from them from LEGO. Star Wars asks, do I think that paper bags are going to be happening for LEGO? And I think it's definitely going to happen in the future. It's just something that's going to take a long time for them to kind of put into motion. I know with the larger kind of UCS sets and other sets like that, they have been going for the paper bags, as well as some of my friends from, other countries. I know I have a friend in Germany who I'm pretty sure they have a lot more paper bags there for their sets than we do over in America. But I do think it's something that's just going to be kind of like a slow burn for LEGO. They can't really just insta switch out over to them, but I do think that they will be doing that in the future. I don't know how long it'll take for it to be put into effect, but I do think that it will be happening pretty soon. And our last question comes from Atlas, and they ask, what do I think is the best anniversary figure from 2024? And I think that there were some pretty good ones, but I think there's only one that I own, and that is Darth Malak. And I think just based on that, it probably means he's my favorite. I do think Cal Kestis is also a very cool one, and definitely a close second. But Darth Malak, I'm just so happy that we finally got him. And I think the minifigure is super, super good, a very good minifigure. And I'm very happy that we got that, as well as some of the other ones. Some of them aren't really my cup of tea, but I do think that it's probably Darth Malak is my favorite, and I do think it'd also be the best just based on some of the cool pieces and printing that we got on him, but I think Cal Kestis is definitely a close second. And it's 9nub as well. I think 9nub's pretty good. I think all of them are good. I just think my favorite is Darth Malak, and let me know down below in the comments what you think the best one is out of all of them, or what your favorite one out of all of them is. And that is going to do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you to everyone who asked a question. And if you have any questions that you'd like me to answer in the next installment of the series, leave them down below in the comment section of this video, and I'll try my best to get them in the next episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe. Drew, signing out.